Hey guys, it's Kathleen with Thrifty Britches. I am a part-time reseller and a full-time school counselor, and I have an eBay store that I started during COVID with my sister Karen, who is a full-time kindergarten teacher and a part-time reseller. And together we sell on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and we are starting to branch off into Facebook Marketplace. So today I'm doing a little bit of a different video than just a thrift haul from my death pile. I want to show you how to make the solution that I have talked about several times in my thrift hauls that takes stains out of clothing. It doesn't take every single stain out, but it sure does take a lot of stains out, especially stains that have been kind of set in and have already gone through the washer and the dryer. And so what you do is you mix 1 part baking soda with 1 part peroxide with 1 part Dawn dishwashing liquid. So I've got my baking soda, I've got my faux Dawn dishwashing liquid, but this works just as well. And then I've got my hydrogen peroxide. I'm going to start by putting 2 tablespoons of each, and I make it in an airtight container because what you want to do is after you have made it, if you have any extra solution, you want to keep it sealed up and in a pantry where there's no light, because the light does something to the peroxide. I don't know what, but it makes it less effective. Okay, so I have 3 different items that I want to clean a spot out of. The first is this really cute pair of fluorescent shorts that are by J. Crew. They are in a size 10, and it wasn't until I got them home and held them up under the sunlight that I noticed that they have this spot on them, and I don't know if you can see it because it's nighttime and I'm filming in my kitchen, but right by my finger there you can see a spot, and it almost looks like it might be an ink spot that somebody tried to get out. Next is this vintage Redskins t-shirt, and as you know, Redskins memorabilia is selling because they're not allowed to use the name anymore. And so when I was going to take pictures of it, I found this little set-in stain. It almost looks like it might have the potential of being blood that has dried in. So we're going to try our hand at that. And then the last one is actually a 2-fold stain. This one's going to be hard to see because it is super set in, and clearly the person tried to get it out. It almost looks like some sort of ground in dirt stain. It's right there by my finger. Right over there. And the other one is on the back, and it looks like it's probably the same substance, whatever it is. And there's just a streak of it going down there on the back of the shirt. Well, you really can't see that, can you? And there it is, that line. Can you see that line right there by my finger? It's just a streak of it. So the first thing to do is to mix up the brew. Okay, so I'm going to mix 2 tablespoons of the baking soda, and it doesn't have to be exact. Don't make yourself crazy. I just kind of measure it out so I'm approximate. Also, I'm really wishing I had gotten a smaller container of the baking soda. Then what I go ahead and do is just kind of break up the big clumps because it makes it a little bit easier. And I also do the peroxide last. Not because anybody said you should do the peroxide last, but it just seems to get things going and bubbling. And so I like to make that my last step. And the last is the peroxide. It's going to make kind of a liquidy paste. I like to do it with the spoon so that you can get everything that is kind of hanging out in the corners. And then what I do after that is give it a real good shake with the lid on. You can see by looking at that, I've gotten most of the big bumps out or the big lumps. and it's pretty much this light blue color. And I like to give it a good shake to really blend it. And then I just start applying it. I'm going to start with the shorts. So I put a healthy amount on to kind of saturate the stain. I try to really rub it in where I see that the stain is darker and perhaps more set in. So that's the first one. Next I'm going to do the Patagonia. This stain is a little bit more set in than some of the others, and so I'm just putting a little bit extra. And last is the Redskins. I think out of all three of them, I am the least optimistic about the Redskins. Okay guys, so I have put the solution onto all three pieces of clothing, and now what I'm going to let it do is sit overnight. And then in the morning I will just throw it into a cold wash, spin it, and fingers crossed that the spots all came out. This solution is really, really good, but I have come across some spots that it just will not take out. Usually they are super set in and have been for a long time. So that's why I'm a little bit less optimistic about the Redskins coming out than I am about the Patagonia and the pink shorts. So the one that I am most optimistic about is the Patagonia. I think that one is the least of the set-in stains. So I'm gonna go and leave them sitting overnight, and then I will be back shortly with the results. Okay guys, so I am back with kind of mixed results. It was just okay. Usually this stuff works a lot better for me. On the pink fluorescent shorts, it lightened it somewhat, but it did not take out that ink stain. So you can very faintly see it, but it is still there. So it did take a good amount of it out. So what I'm probably going to do is to rub a little bit more in and run it through a second time. The thing I'm afraid of is that it is going to start to take the pink out of the shorts, but at this point I really can't list these anyway. I mean, I definitely can't list them anyway with this stain still on, so that is a risk that I am willing to take and see if we can get it out. Now, on the Redskins Super Bowl shirt, I was really, really pleasantly surprised because so much of it came out that I am going to run it through a second time. I'm going to soak it, run it through, but you can barely even see it. In fact, I'm having trouble even in full light finding it. It is still there. There is just the faintest shadow of that spot. And so, like I said, I'm going to soak it again tonight. And I know that when I run it through the second time, the rest of it is going to come out. And then this Patagonia came great. The dirt is gone. Everything is nice and clean. And this is definitely ready for me to list. So I am super pumped about that. And that's about what I expected. I thought that that stain was going to probably come out the best out of the three of them. The last item I want to show, I wish I had taken a picture of this because this had on it a ground in grease stain running down the front. And so I soaked it, and I didn't use it in my video because I really thought that white was not going to clean up, and that stain completely came out. I know I don't have the before picture to show you, but it did a beautiful job. So remember, that is 1 part peroxide, 1 part Dawn dishwashing liquid, and 1 part baking soda. Mix it up, slather it on, let it sit, run it through the wash, and if you need to, run it through again. All right, guys, that is everything for this video this week. If you enjoy watching reselling videos, then definitely go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Hit the notification button so that you will be emailed every time that we upload a video. And don't forget to subscribe because it helps us out so much in the YouTube algorithm, and we are so grateful for every single one of you that takes the time to subscribe to our channel. All right, guys, remember, it's not cheap, it's thrifty. Bye.